Hello, everyone, and welcome to Off the Wall. My name is Sol, and I have another book video for you today. Today, I'll be talking about all the books I've read in the month of September. Remember to like and subscribe for more bookish videos. First, I would like to speak about the books I've read so far for Hispanic Heritage Month. If you watched my Hispanic Heritage Month TBR video, you know that Hispanic Heritage Month is from September 15th to October 15th. And the first book that I read for that month in between 2 months is The Long Game by Elena Armas. And I really enjoyed this book. The blurb for the book is a disgraced soccer exec reluctantly enlists the help of a retired soccer star in coaching a children's team in a small town. That disgraced soccer exec is Adeline Reyes. I don't know if it was like Adeline or Adeline. Spelling doesn't really help you out. And it's not really a Latin first name, so let me know how you would pronounce it down in the comments below. She's works in PR for an MLS team in Miami, the Miami Flame, which I don't know why that name cracks me up so much, but it does. Her father is the owner. She does something at the beginning of the book and is banished to a small mountain town in North Carolina for a project that will make the club look good after her PR disaster. Then in comes Cameron Caldani, former English footballer, because of course he's English, who used to play for England and in the Premier League, but ended his career in the MLS as a lot of footballers do. The MLS team, the LA Stars. I wonder if Elena Armas was advised not to use the real names of these teams because it's fake MLS team names and she never mentions any of the actual names of the Premier League. Cameron shocked the world when he laced up his boots and retired, and he's now living in the same small town incognito. No one knows who he actually is, and he likes it that way. Adeline and Cameron get off on the wrong foot when they first meet, but are forced to work together, especially since Adeline blackmailed Cameron that she's going to tell everyone in the town that he's a famous footballer if he doesn't coach this U10 girls team. So this is another enemies to lovers trope. So far, the two books that I've read by Elena Armas, enemies to lovers, so that's a little bit of her MO. I think the reason I like this book so much is one, there's soccer in it, and that's one of my favorite sports. And the main character of Adeline, a Cuban American girl from Miami who ends up in the South and is a little bit of a fish out of water. I'm also from South Florida. I moved to Tennessee in high school, so I got some of her struggles, especially it being way too cold. Even though she's a little bit more of a diva than I am, and her character being a little bit annoying at the beginning, but you grow to like her. The third reason is Cameron is a great book crush to have. He's tall, he has an English accent, which I 100% read his POV in an English accent in my head, so that was great for me. Cameron's character is what I like to call a charming asshole. He has full capacity to be a dick and will definitely make fun of you. But he's actually a really good dude who cares deeply. And when he lets his guard down, any man were to say what some of the stuff that he says to Adeline, to me, I would melt immediately. One of his quotes is, I'll always give you more than what you ask for, love, even when you don't know what you want. And just just love it. Cameron is the epitome of that nice versus kind debate. He may not always be nice, but he is very kind. Who wouldn't want to be fussed over by a handsome man with an English accent, right? The next book I read for Hispanic Heritage Month is The Mimicking of Known Success by Malka Older. Immediately when I opened this book, the first thing I noticed was that on the dedication page, instead of dedicating the book to someone, Malka Older wrote, demand better than back to normal. If you don't feel that the way I feel that, like, especially the times we live in, demand better than back to normal. This book is a sapphic sci fi mystery set on Jupiter Earth is no longer inhabitable and humans have moved on to living on Jupiter. And one day, a man at the farthest outpost jumps off a platform and is presumed to be dead. And Inspector Mosa is trying to figure out why this man would jump. She enlists help of Platy, a friend from college who works as a scholar at the university, the same university the man who allegedly jumped also works at. The story is well paced, interesting, and fun to read. It's also a short book. It's under 200 pages. It will have a sequel that comes out in February of next year called The Imposition of Unnecessary Obstacles. So look out for that book next year because I'm definitely gonna be checking that one out. Outside of the books that I read for Hispanic Heritage Month, I reread The Butterfly Mosque by G. Willow Wilson. I was reading the Poison Ivy comic that she writes. I just wanted to reread and learn more about her life, even though I've read the book before. But, sometimes you forget and you're like, oh, I just want to know you again. I enjoy your comics and your books and your writing so much. The book focuses on G. Will Wilson's conversion to Islam, moving to Egypt, and meeting her husband. Throughout the book, she speaks about the division between the East and the West, whether it's something insignificant like how she notices that in the US, men will kiss women on the cheek, but not men, and that in Egypt, men will kiss men on the cheek, but not women, each side claiming that a kiss on the cheek is not sexual, but then why do they only kiss one gender in each country? Or when it was things that are very significant to her Egyptian family speaking ill of the US, but then thanking the US because she's part of their family now. Without the US, they wouldn't have her in the family. Her family and friends back home not understanding her and her life in Egypt, deciding to accept it anyways. Her feelings of having to defend her country of birth, but then also having to defend her new life, family, and religion. Close to the end of the book, she describes her conversion as, when I stumbled into Islam, I wasn't looking for a radical new moral or social system. I wasn't angry at society. I was looking for words, the words, one that would match what I had seen and felt but could not explain. Like my dream, faith to me is not a leap, but an affirmation of personal experience. With Islam, I gave myself permission to live in the world as I saw it, not as I was told to see it. Some other quotes that I absolutely adored from this book is, all the formal education in the world at the best universities and under the best authorities cannot teach you to understand an environment you've never seen for yourself. And to do the right thing, you must sometimes defend people who do not understand you or who fear you or who are angry at you. There are times when you have to operate purely on faith and continue to trust human decency even when it is no longer visible. Obviously, I enjoyed this book because it is a reread. And as much as I enjoy her comics, I hope that G. Willow Wilson will write some more full length novels. So, those were the three books that I read in the month of September. I hope to do better for October and to finish my TBR for Hispanic Heritage Month. The link to that video will be in the description down below. Let me know what you read last month and what your plans on reading for this month in the comments down below as well. As always, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.